In early January, the FAA held a public meeting to discuss SpaceX's new proposal. This proposal states the company's intention in increasing its aerospace vehicles launches and landings in its Boca Chica launch site. UTRGV's School of Earth, Environmental and Marine Sciences, Hudson Dio, explains some of the effects if the proposal gets accepted.
Well, some simple things is just the noise from those things. I mean, it's it's really loud. Okay, if you're anything that can hear, well, that's going to be problematic for you. One would think. Okay, well, it might not be such a good story for a bird if you happen to be, a quarter mile away from a launch.
Federal law required the FAA to conduct a review of the environmental impact before the SpaceX facility was established. The review began in 2012. By 2013, Texas introduced legislation that allowed for the closure of public beaches during launches. Texas legislators approved a $15 million incentive package for the former California-based company in 2013, and it was later accepted by SpaceX in 2014. By 2014, the FAA review found the proposed location to pose no significant threat to the environment, leading SpaceX to publicly announce Boca Chica as its site in August of that year. The first launch conducted in the facilities was performed in early 2023, followed by 6 more. Fast forward 2 years, SpaceX is in the middle of a license renewal, mandated by the FAA. If approved, the modification would allow SpaceX to increase its annual launches in the area from 10 to 25. Including 50 landings of its airspace vehicles to continue enhancing technology. A suggested change in the SpaceX operations led to an active investigation by the FAA that began in 2024 to analyze the potential environmental impact. The initial investigation found no significant impact on matters such as air quality, land use, and children's health. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services is still researching categories such as the impact on endangered species. Dio explains how the launches will affect the environment in the Rio Grande Valley.
I can't say I know that's going to have a dramatic negative impact on the bird species, but birds are a part of South Bay ecosystem and they use it. I see them there. And so if there's a simple thing would be if there's less fish, there'll probably be less birds, but there's less for them to eat.
This investigation requires public commentary to identify concerns and answer questions. Some locals expressed concern over the proposal, seeing SpaceX's launch site as a threat to the Boca Chica environment.
They have already destroyed and contaminated and polluted a lot of the land and water out there at the Boca Chica area. And SpaceX claims that they're not making any environmental impact, that they're not polluting the water. But they have been in violation of the Clean Water Act, so that means SpaceX is lying. And also, those lands, that area of Boca Chica Tract near the mouth of the river, those are all sacred lands. The whole land in that area is sacred to the original native people of this land, the Ashtokna, Karispomikrudu. And SpaceX and the FAA have never consulted the tribe, so they're violating human rights and indigenous rights.
Besides the damage to the environment, Cameron County residents also question how the possible increase in launches and landings will affect the infrastructure in the area.
We need another EPA study being done for the quality of the environment, how it's going to affect the environment, the damage it's going to do to our building structures. Causeway is the one I'm really concerned about because it's our only link to Padre Island, and a lot of us have condos on the island.
The last U.S. Environmental Protection Agency investigation was conducted in 2024 and found SpaceX violating Texas environmental quality and water control laws. People outside of Cameron County have a different take on the matter, as they show excitement for the technological achievements performed by SpaceX that put them above other tech giants.
None of the other aerospace companies are even coming close to even attempting these advancements, taking a risk. I'm amazed at what they've done so far and what they're still in attempt to do.
For a full timeline of the history of SpaceX's starbase in Boca Chica, check out the story on our website. Both the FAA and SpaceX declined to comment or answer questions at the FAA meeting. The final environmental assessment will be completed in the coming weeks, which will be followed by a decision for a license renewal or modification for SpaceX. For KVAQ TV in Brownsville, Victor Ortega.